Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be working with the Corception 300. You guys have been following my recent videos. I installed the Manta M5P CB1 to this printer. And one of the things that I've been getting a lot of requests for is installing a touchscreen to the Manta M5P and CB1. This will also work if you guys are running a Raspberry Pi. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that and configure it in Klipper. Guys, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, turn on your notification bell, and leave me some comments. I love reading the comments and do my best to get back to you guys as soon as I see them. All right, let's jump right in and take this thing apart. These are the parts that we're going to be installing. So what we have here is this is a BigTreeTech TFT 3.5 inch. And it's SPI version 2.1. Also brings the ribbon cable. And to adapt this to the Corception 300, or if there's another model out there called Creativity Health, which is essentially the same printer. So if you guys have these particular printers, I'll make these STL files available in the video description. But this is just a little trim that I designed in Onshape to go over the screen, because it's got these little connectors here on the side for the touchpad that's on top of the display, and I didn't like the way that looks, so I made up this little cover for it to cover it up. All right, and then these two other pieces, and this is to fasten it to the mounting points on the Corception 300. So that's what these are for. And then these are for the 4 original screws to fasten the display down. All right, so let me get this out of the way, and we'll pull the board off, install the ribbon cable, and then the software. The connector that we're going to use is the one that says SPI screen. So it's labeled here on the Manta. It's kind of hard to see. Let me turn this around so you guys can see this. So you see right there it says SPI screen. So that's where the ribbon cable is going to go. And the connectors go facing the board. So the ribbon cable is going to have 2 sides to it. It has one side where you see the little connectors, and then a side that just is looks like a blue tape. And the way this goes is it slides in here, and these have like little flip tabs here. You can kind of see me moving it here. Got to make sure you flip that up before trying to insert this cable. And once it bottoms out, push that little tab down and it locks it in place. All right, so now I'm just going to reinstall this, and I need the ribbon cable to come out through the top, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip it over. All right, and for the display, you have this port here. This is the SPI port. So this one, instead of being a flip, it pulls out. So just pull that little fastener out, I'm going to install the ribbon cable. And again, it goes with the connectors facing down. Okay, there it goes. And it doesn't go in very far, just a little bit. And for me, for this particular machine, the display, the orientation of the display is, so if you look at the back of it where it has the writing, this will be the orientation of it. So if you're looking at it from the front, everything will be where it needs to be. It's in landscape mode. I'm not sure if there's a way to switch it to portrait mode, but by default it's landscape. And for my particular application, it's going to go mounted like this. And I'm taking my retainers. All right, let me show you how it looks like on the other side. That's a better view. All right, so let's turn this thing on, and I'm going to show you when you first turn it on what it's going to do. So I'm just going to flip the power switch here. And the only thing that's going to happen with the screen at this point is it'll just be white. Sorry about the crappy lighting. It's printer's kind of big and it's hard to get this thing in view just right. All right, so the screen's going to be in white. So let's jump over to the computer, and I'm going to show you what we need to do here to initialize this thing. We're going to be doing this, enabling this on a CB1. If you're using the Raspberry Pi CM4 or just a standalone Raspberry Pi, the process might be a little different, but this is what we're going to do. So the CB1 has a file called board env.txt that needs to be edited. To do that, first we need to log into the Raspberry Pi. So we're going to be using PuTTY, actually the CB1 in my case. And if you guys aren't familiar with my Clipper guide, in here I have all the instructions on how to install and use these programs that we're going to be talking about today. One of the ones we're going to be using is the Wireless Network Watcher, and that's on page 13 of the guide. I'll link this in the video description. So in my case, I already have it installed and running, but this will be the icon here. Once you install it, just launch it. And what it does is it looks at your network and finds the IP address for your CB1. So in my case, it's right here. I can right click, go to properties, select the IP address, copy it, and then I'm going to open a PuTTY session. Right click, paste it in here, open. And the default login for the CB1 is BIQU, is the login, and the password is the same, BIQU. All right, now that we're in here, we need to edit this file. Let me pull that file up. So we're going to grab this first line, and again, I'll make this available in the video description. So just copy this first line, right click into the PuTTY session to paste, and press enter. And that's going to bring up the file that we need to edit. Now, when I first used this, I was very confused by how, I was unable to change anything here in this program. But to get this to work so that you can edit this, you need to press the insert key. So I'm pressing the INS key on the keyboard, and then that will display insert at the bottom of the file. And now you can move around here and make changes to this. Now what we want to change is we want to come down in this file to the part where it talks about the TFT35. In my case, it's right here. And we want to uncomment this line here. So all I'm doing is taking away that pound sign, and that's it. Once you're done, you can hit the escape key. So right now, if you notice here at the bottom, it says insert. Once I hit the escape key, that insert is going to go away. Then you're going to press shift and then the colon. And then that's going to bring the little cursor down to the bottom. You'll see a little colon displayed there. And what you want to do is you want to save this. To save it, it would be W. To save, press enter. And then you'll get a confirmation here at the bottom that says however many characters were written. And then what you could do is you can confirm this by opening the file again. So I can, let me quit out of this. So you're going to do shift again, colon, and then you're going to press the Q, enter, and then now you're out. If you want to verify that you wrote it properly, go ahead and launch it again and look for the value that is uncommented. So if it looks like this and you did it successfully, and you're good to go. To get back out of this, again, it's shift, colon, Q, enter. Now we're out. All right, now the next thing we need to do is that we need to install Klipper's installation and update helper. So grab this second link here, copy it, and we're going to paste this in our browser. And I already have it open here, but what you would do is paste it in here, press enter, and then it'll just open this page. We're going to scroll down. We don't need to install it in the Raspberry Pi because we already have the CB1 image in there. What we need to do is we need to come down to this section right here. So this it says download and use KIAUH. So the first thing is a sudo command. So we're going to select this. And they have a nice little copy button here on the right. But if this copy button doesn't work, what you could do is you can highlight this carefully. But you don't want to over highlight it because then you'll get some erroneous characters. But in this case, we're going to try the copy and see if it works for us. So just click in the gray box, click copy. Let's go to our putty session. And I'm going to use a little program called TurboTop. This is a cool little program that you can download and install. And once you have it installed, you can click on the little tray programs that are running, click TurboTop, and then if you select one of the windows, it will always keep it on top of the other document. So now if I click in here, this doesn't disappear. It stays always on top. It's a neat little function that you can get out of TurboTop. All right, so let's paste this sudo command in here. Right click, enter. Okay, once that's done, we're going to select the next line. You can either highlight or you can use a little copy button. Let's grab it from the copy button. Click the box, copy, right click, enter. Okay. Next, we need to launch the program. So we're going to copy the next line, right click in putty, enter. And once we're in this Klipper installation and update helper, we're going to select install. So that would be option 1. So down here at the bottom, type 1, press enter. It's going to ask you for your password again. So if it's default, it's BIQU. And what we want to do is we want to install Klipperscreen. So that would be option 5. So we're going to type 5, enter. All right. Now what we can do is press the B key to go back. And now we can confirm here on the main menu. Okay, Klipperscreen is installed. Q to quit, and then type exit to end your putty session. All right, next thing we need to do is restart the printer. All right, guys, so let's check and make sure that we don't have any errors. All right, we're good. One thing that I want to point out, and guys, if you know of a workaround, let me know in the comments. But one thing that I had to disable to get this thing to work is the ADXL 345. It seems that for some reason it shares some of the resources of the screen. I can't get them both to work at the same time. So what I had to do was comment out the ADXL 345, and I'll show you what happens if you don't. If you have this enabled, just so that you can see the error that I get. So I'm going to save and restart. And now I get this error here. So there's two things that you could do to. So let's say that I needed to use the accelerometer. Then what I would have to do is go in here, log in, and then I would have to edit that board env.txt file, and I would have to comment this line in. So press the insert key, add a pound symbol here, press the escape key, shift colon, W to write, Q to quit. I'm not sure if it'll work like this, but let's try it. Yep, looks like it did. Let's verify. Yep, all right, perfect. All right, shift colon, Q to quit. All right, perfect. Now we can exit here. So we have to shut down the printer and turn it back on. So let me do that. Yeah, so anytime you make changes to that board env.txt file, you have to power down the Raspberry Pi and turn it back on. Or in my case, it's a Manta M5P with a CB1. Let's try to refresh this. Okay, here it's going. And there we go. All right, so now it's back up with no errors. The accelerometer would work if I plugged it in. See, got all this stuff in here. But anyway, that's the only issue with this, at least with the CB1. I don't know if this is a problem with the Raspberry Pi, but I ran into this, and for the life of me, I can't figure out how to make them both work at the same time. So guys, if you happen to have the solution, let me know in the comments. That way I can make a follow-up video and help out others that are looking to resolve the same problem. All right, guys, so there you got Klipperscreen. Let's try moving this thing. I guess if we're gonna home it, we gotta press move, home, home all. All right, and I have no idea how to use Klipperscreen, but yeah, I mean, I can tell here if you need to go back, you could just press the little back. There's a like a little arrow here on the top. You can go back again. If you want to do something with the temperature, press the temperature button, select the thing you want to change the temperature on. So if I want to change the extruder temperature, I can select it, select the temperature, put whatever temperature I want in here. And let's check and see if it'll heat up. 200. Got a little graph here at the bottom. Yeah, you can see the temperature's rising there. All right, so cool. Awesome. I'll set it back to 0. And the 3-inch screen is kind of small. I think if I was gonna do this on a on something like an Ender 3 or Ender 5, I would probably go with either a bigger screen or use a smartphone. But anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, turn on your notification bell, and leave some comments. I love reading the comments and do my best to get back to you guys as soon as I see them. All right, guys, this video's a wrap. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.